Okay. So again, we're gonna learn Lili Nishmas again. I don't know the names of the Bachrim, but the Meshama Shalem and Aliyah. Now, why are we doing it with Bachrim? We're Bachrim. I mean, I don't know if I'm a Bachrim, but we're Bachrim in Barakaway. So, but all Bachrim are connected, right? And if you don't feel connected, then feel connected, right? That's the point. So the Neshama Shalem and Aliyah. Okay, so now we're up to the Ramah Pei Zayin Sivvav. This is a wild Ramah. And there's a major Rebbe Kiva Eger here that we're gonna have to do. A major what? What this Rebbe Kiva Eger? That's what I was gonna say. This Rebbe Kiva Eger is already this is a requirement for in the yeshiva system. You're gonna go through maybe in Ksubas, with Psik Reisha, Davashen Meschaven, Psik Reisha L'Shavar. You did it when? That's it. This is a Rebbe Kiva Eger that you have to know. This is one. If there's anything that Bachram know from Basar Bechalav, it's this Rebbe Kiva Eger. Right? It's whether it's a Negei Lamaisa, I don't know. It's, possibly sometimes on Shabbos in Negei Lamaisa. Okay, so the first part of the Ramah we already did, which is about Cholav Zachar. Right? It's by the Yud Ches. It's by the Yud Ches. You seen the Ramah Sivav?
Yeshomers?
Yeah, but that's by the Yud Ches of the Shach. Right? Basically, the Ramah is going to bring 4 chumras here, which are chumras, and he's going to say at the end they're all chumras, and if you make on all these things, there's no loss. But the kshaila, should you try and be machmer, and why should you be machmer? So I guess the best thing to do is we'll read all 4 chumras and then we'll go back and analyze them. So some say that you're not allowed to mix the fire under a pot, a guy's pot. Meaning, you have a guy, I don't know how negay it would be, but a guy asks you to, I guess maybe you're in a hotel, and the guy asks you if you can raise the temperature on their crock pot or something like that. Mm-hmm. So something like that, I don't know how negay it would be. We'll see in Rebbe Kiva Eger why Rebbe Kiva Eger thinks it is negay, right? But you're not allowed to go mix the fire under a pot of a guy l'fi shem mevashlim behem pa'amim chalav pa'amim basar, because sometimes they're going to cook in the pot milk, and sometimes they're going to cook in the pot meat. And then mamachata tachas keder shalem bali de bishul basar v'chalav. So perhaps there's bishul basar v'chalav there. Right now the question is going to be, we'll see in the shach what exactly we're talking about. Is it basar v'chalav mamish? Then avada you can't do it. Seems to be he's only talking about blias, things that are absorbed in the pot. So maybe he used the pot this morning to make breakfast with milchiks, and now it's supper, and he's put meat in there. So now you have a mixture of basar b'chalav, and now you're cooking basar b'chalav. By you raising the temperature, so you're cooking basar b'chalav. All right, okay, that's chumrah number 1. Don't mix water that you use to wash milchiks together with, well, he says fleishiks first, and then mix it with water that you use to wash milchiks, and then put it in front of a behema to give it to him to eat. Asurim b'hana, because it's aser b'hana, because it's basar b'chalav. Which
is it, one thing or 2 things?
What do you mean? Is
it washing with the same water and then getting to him, or even
it's even washing? Both. It's even separate, and then you're mixing it together.
Hot water? No, I'm saying
it's got to be l'chayr. It's got to be hot, but we'll see in the shop.
Wash water with milk and meat, or he's not even talking about that.
You're using, what do you mean?
Washing. You said that you took hot water and you washed the fleshy dish, then the milk dish. Right. Is he saying that's us, or is he just Aga mentioning that?
Well, we're going to see it later on. Okay. Tzadi Aleph, Tzadi, I don't remember which thing, but part of that was sure the us. Here he's talking about it was washed. You took water, right? You have one basin of water that you use for the dairy, and you have another basin of water that you use for the meat. Now you mix them together. And the chayr has to be hot, but some are going to say even cold, right? And then you're giving it to your animal, so it's aser b'hana, so you can't do that.
It's not aser b'hana.
That's 2.
Why would the animal want the water? To drink the water?
The drink.
not also professional.
Well, that's going to be the question. That's going to be the question. That's why these are chumras that are not okay. Let's just finish the lashon of the Rama. Oid kasu da klisha oisim b'mayim lechafifa sarosh. The water that you use for to scrub the hair, right? To do a hair treatment. Ain l'shamash boy, don't use it. Meaning the goyim use this water, and they use that water to somehow wash people's hair. Don't use it. The oisin oisim me'efresh ala kira, because what they put into the water is the ashes from on top of the stove or whatever, however you want to touch kira. Regilus ulas arif sham basar v'chalav, and they are normally they mix basar v'chalav in there, right?
Could it be shaykh with shampoos? They're maybe also.
So that's what you get into. So the yes, that's what you get into here. So is there an isser? Is there an isser the creams that have basar v'chalav and shampoos, etc. Right? So from this Ramah is mashma that it would be a problem. Now the only thing is, okay, well we're gonna go back and analyze it. Yeah. That's 3, 4.
This is ashes that guy make, or even ashes that
No, ashes that guy make. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, didn't say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But it doesn't make a difference. I don't know why it should make a difference, but
All right, I just want to be
you should also not use the pots that are in the Beis HaChayrev. The Beis HaChayrev is basically the room that they use to heat up the house. So they did a lot of cooking in there. You know, they didn't have stoves like we have, so you multitasked, right? You put a burner, you have a burner there to heat the house, and then you put some food there. Right, Mishum the nitzam aleim lepam and basa v'cholav min hakadeiros shemivashim b'tanurim, because people cook there and stuff sprays. So therefore, you shouldn't use any of the pots from down there. I mean, he's saying even the kosher pots that are down there, because sometimes people come put treif, and the treif will spray out, and it's going to cause you a problem. Right? Ubediyeved ain't lochash becholze. Bediyeved, we're not choshish for any of this. V'af lechatchila ain't bezeh lechumras ba'alma, and all these things are just chumras ba'alma. V'hamekellohifsid, and you're mekel, then you're not losing. Okay, so when I stop, what does that lashon of the Rama mean? Ain't bediyeved ain't lochash becholze. Okay, that's pashut. And lechatchila, it's only chumras. So if you're mekel, you didn't lose, but you didn't gain, right? So I'm saying, is this going for all chumras? Chumras, to keep a chumrah, there's a potential gain, but there's no loss. Obviously, it's going to depend on the chumrah. It's going to depend on the chumrah, but if you're not interested in being a bal nefesh, okay, so I'm just not interested in being a bal nefesh.
You seem to say bal nefesh.
No, I'm just saying, and it would be a bal nefesh would even be more. Meaning
more of a reason.
More reason to be makel. Yeah, I'm not interested in being a bal nefesh.
This says you don't lose anything. If you're not bal nefesh, you lose being bal nefesh.
So then you're losing. No, so then if that's the case, then you're losing the chumras too. Whatever you're gaining.
So it's mean to be bal nefesh. It's like a chassid.
I wish I knew. Bal Basar, I could tell you. Bal nefesh, I don't know. I'm saying makel. If you're makel, you don't lose. You're not going to have anything. You're not going to have points taken off of your GPA, but you're not going to get extra credit. All right. So if you're not an extra credit type of guy, so don't do extra credit. Yeah. Okay. The shal is what's the berhativs here are not much shorter than the shach himself. Yeah, let's do the berhativs. Yeah, since we're on a speed thing. Okay. Lachtos tezayin in the berhativ. Cause of a shach. This is going on the first case. Again, the first case is that you're not only see. It's interesting because the yesh oimrim de osir lachtos. That's not a lashon of chumrah, right? Saying the Ramah in the beginning says yesh oimrim de osir, and at the end he says, but these are all chumras. He says l'chatchila ein bezeh. So then why is he using a lashon of osir in the beginning? So meaning. No, it's again, I don't want to get bogged down with this, but sometimes there are chumras to keep because you're keeping that chumrah because there are shitas that hold that it's taka aser, so you want to be mekayim that shita, right? Other times you have a chumrah is like there's no shita like that, but there's a potential for something to happen. Well, I don't know if it's so much a sveika. It's like don't do this because you may run into a problem,
Like a
as opposed to well, there's a shita that holds like that. So if you're gonna be machmer like that shita, so you're getting whatever a bracha or your bal nefesh, etc., etc.
like a buck, so good.
Yeah. So, okay. Anyway, so that's but that's the lashon he uses yesham da aser. So lachtos, meaning okay. So what's the case? So you're not allowed to mix the fire under a guy's pot because it could be that pot has absorptions of meat and milk. So Kosav Hashach b'Shem Mordechai, right? We're in Ber Heitev Tezayim. The Shach writes in the name of the Mordechai, Sha'asa levashal basar iser bebeis Yisrael b'keder shalav kechavim, that you're not allowed to cook basar of iser in a yid's house with a guy's pot. Why? Shema yechata Yisrael, because maybe a Yisrael mixed it. Right? Therefore, tzarich l'shivchos oivdes kechavim shtei kederes. If you're gonna have a shiksa in your house, she has to have two pots. Echad shel basar, echad shel chalav. Right? And meaning if you're gonna let them have only one pot based on this Ramah, then there might be basar b'chalav in it. And then a yid might come help them because it's a yid's house. So therefore, you shouldn't do that. And he says the Velt is not worried about this. Okay, so that's an extension of that. So that's the first case. Now the Pashtus is the reason, if the Olam remembers from the beginning of Pei Zayin, why is this just a Chumrah? I'm saying Belias and Kalim should not carry a strong Isser of being Maval Shabbos of First of all, Ein Bishal Achar Bishal. Didn't we say that? Right? But we said there's if it's already cooked, if each one individually, if it's both cooked, right? What's the problem?
No, we mentioned this today by the Shabbos meal. That what's it called? We say that if they're both cooked and you cook them
being
together.
recorded,
What?
You're being recorded.
Yeah. If they're both cooked and you cook them together, then you are over. Just Rabbi Akiva Eiger says that only if you're going to
If you cook
continuously
them
over
together.
them, like separately cooked and then cooked together, you are over. Just then, if you continually cook them, you might not be over. That was
Correct.
Rabbi Akiva Eiger's
Right.
title.
So
Already
you
cooked
said
up.
right. So here, what's the case?
Well, it's
Here
Here it was basar, and then it was. So you're saying according to that, then it would be it's we would say
there is a bishul.
there is
If-
bishul. There
if
is
there's
right.
just plain milk in the pot. And
Right,
you're
but
cooking
right.
meat, that's fine.
Yeah. So yeah, enochanami. So if you go with that shita, then you would have that would not be a way out of this, right? The only thing is this derech bishul at all? Is this even bishul? A blias that are absorbed, is that considered even a derech bishul? Right. So those are basically the reasons why the poskim say that this is just a chumrah.
What are the odds of really been doing?
That's okay. So when we get to Rabbi, I don't know how much of Rabbi Akiva Eiger will do, but Rabbi Akiva Eiger discusses it. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Do Yud Zayin l'chaf. That was case number one. Case number two. The Ber Heitev doesn't bring. So let's go to the Shach Yud Tes. Does he bring it in the other one? No, he doesn't. Okay, I don't know why he doesn't bring it. The Asurim Banob up to the Shach Yud Tes. Hainu kishedichem b'mayim roischim. Like you said, this has to be boiling hot water. V'irvam kach roischim, and you mix them together when they were hot. Halav hachi eina aser b'hano. How could it be aser b'hano? Even the eina aser min ha'torah elo derech bishul. Right? We said that you're only over on bishul. Min ha'torah if it's derech bishul, and derech bishul means it has to be hot. So if you have cooled off water from a milchik basin of water, and cooled off, we say is less than 108 degrees, let's say, right? And then you forget about whether it's a kli shlishi, right? Depending on how back then they wash their pots and pans in a kli rishon, right? They probably, I mean, they heat the basin up, so there. But us, bisman hazeh, it's kemat. We haven't discussed it. But we will discuss what the status is of water coming out of pipes from the sink.
It will be
Right.
pollution.
It's
Well,
at the
so-
minimum, it's an area of a kli rishon. Once it hits the kli, now that kli is a kli sheni,
Well,
and then
if
it
that-
bounces off that kli.
It's
It's an area of a kli sheni. Well, we'll discuss. We'll get into the whole dishwashers. Bez Hashem. We'll get into the number. Probably the number one. I don't know. I was going to say number one shiloh, but close to it is they mistakenly, usually the guy or the husband mistakenly washes the milchik spoon with the fleshik, or they in the dishwasher the milchik ends up with the fleshik. So we got to get into that whole thing. But the point is the shach is pointing out that this whole issue is only an issue with hot water. Anything less than hot water, the whole issue is not an issue. Right? Fine. Now, I guess once we're in the shach, we'll stick with the shach. Chav, yeah. Uregilus l'sarav sham basa b'chalav. That's going on the hair, right? Yeah. The third case is the chafifas harosh. Right. Yeah, we should have done the Reb Kiva Eger. Okay, well, it's better this way because Reb Kiva Eger is a whole different sugi. The third one is the chafifas harosh. So we're saying don't use the water from the chafifas harosh. Okay, and what about the? Why? Because the ashes may come from basa b'chalav, right? Well, what about using the ashes themselves? That you could use. Saying the water not, right? So the shach says, and the reason why don't you just aser? You can't even. It's mashma that if you use it for your head, that's allowed. Again, the lashon of the Ramah is the klisha oisen by mayim lechafifas harosh. The pot that you used, that they use the ashes to make whatever it is, this hair thing that they're doing. Don't use the pot. Right? The oisen me'efer shalakira regilus hulas arav sham basa b'chalav, and you have basa b'chalav in the pot, right? Because they don't use the pot, but what's with the ashes that you could do? That you can use the ashes for your hair. You can do your hair with these ashes that are potentially have basa b'chalav, right? So v'hadaloi mitzvah me'hatayim elachafivas aroy sharei nana. You're being nana from it, and you're being nana from basa b'chalav. Mishum the lirchatz roishay kivin sheven davar shalachila loy choshev hana. Okay, kivan she'eno nena migufa iser. U'kamosh yisbar lekamon simin tzadidal ayin shom and ayin lekamon simin kuf cheset in taruvas. So there's a lot. Meaning there's a lot to be learned, which we're not going to focus on this right now. But
Supplies toothpaste also.
You're allowed to sell this stuff though. So isn't that like much? Why is you're allowed to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're not allowed to sell basa b'chalav. So
Correct.
why? But that's the hana is like financial hana. That's like not
but
even.
it's not.
Third,
The problem here, the first thing you have is sicha kishasiya, right? The smearing something on your body, is that like drinking? Right. So if it is, so then it's possible chol, it's possible hana, and then you're scrubbing it on your hair. So then if you say sicha kishasiya, so then you have a problem. That's one, right? The two is that he's saying that it's not, since it's not roy la'achila, that's not the hana. You're not being nene from the guf ha'isr. The guf ha'isr of basa b'chalav is meant to be consumed and eaten, and that's not the intention. Right? You're not getting to the crux of the issue here. Somebody else says you're not getting to what the main part of the isser is. There was not a problem, but we have to see. We'll have to see later in Tzadi Dalet, right? But that's one of the reasons.
But selling it to someone else eats it. That is go for issue because they're eating it.
Correct.
So that's the
Yes.
problem. Even though I'm not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And then the last one is
That's what that matters.
you shouldn't use the pots, right? In the by the furnace that's heating up the house. Well, you shouldn't do that.
But I don't understand. But let's say the guy I sell the Basar Bechalav to, I don't know, he decides to make the slingshot and throw it at the wall and have fun with it that way. So then it'll be mutter because he's not eating it.
No, because that's not. We're not going to base it on what he does.
But
It's food right now. It's food. It's Basar Bechalav food. So you're not allowed to be nana from it.
mhm. Okay.
All right. Okay. So now look at back down to the Berhetiv Yurches. Hakederas, Kasabatoras Chatas, Mashma, the Begederas Shamatches or Mateches, if you want to say it really correctly, that metal pots, Ein Lahachmar Afilu Lechatchila. You shouldn't be Machmar even Lechatchila. There's a very interesting din here. Mishum Da'af Im Hayanitas, even if it would spray out, Chayzer Mislaban Al Yadea Eish. It's just going to get reheated. Right? Meaning he's saying earthenware kalim, they can't be kashed. But if it's a metal pot, and that metal pot is by the furnace that's heating up the house, so then what's the problem? Even if the meat or the basar b'chalav sprays out and goes into the pot. But so what? The pot will reheat itself, and that kashes it.
So a grill that has no actual muscles is always kosher.
What do you mean the grill that has?
How high is this first? This first is always.
And economy, that's how you would kasher a grill. You would turn it on and hopefully get to the highest temperature.
But the furnace always on the highest temperature.
I don't know.
Because it doesn't need to be the highest temperature to cook.
No, but you
Well,
want
if
to.
it
You want.
was-
It depends what type of kashering you want to do. But
Say it was a good night like the last night. It's a little cold. That'll
Yeah.
make the furnace as hot as it is.
you're allowed. You.
They wouldn't heat up the furnace as much
If you had
as
to
they
put the fire
possibly
in the
can.
house.
No, but they're not. It's not. Not.
I'm
Again?
assuming that whatever heat it was, whatever heat it was when the trafe went into the pot, the heat is maintained there, and it will go in and burn it out.
So then anytime if the tree would ever fall on a grill and take away my mushrooms right away, it would be 100% fine. Because
No, you have to make sure it gets. It has to make sure it gets hot again.
right now the grill's on.
Right.
Then tray falls on. You make sure you clean it off.
You clean it
while
off,
it's
and
hot.
then you
Up
leave
to
it on, and then you leave it
Yeah,
on.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know how much time it has to be there. I don't know, but yeah, that's what got with kasha. Yeah, 100%.
I don't
Fine.
understand the Dino of cautious. You just heat it up and that makes it.
Yes.
So why is it if you cook something in it, then like what doesn't the flavor go in on it?
Because you're cooking it without you didn't kasha it. If you kasha it, then it would go away.
So if let's say I want to cook something twice in it, let's say, then like it's like I've already heated up, so like I want to cook meat, milk in a pot, and then I cook meat in it twice. The second time should be good because the pot was heated up.
So that's what I wanted to say. Thank you, because I already forgot what I wanted to say. So now you reminded me what I wanted to say.
Oh.
If you cooked some treif in a pot, and then before you found out that it was treif, you cooked something else in that pot. So does that cooking something else kasha?
Well, that food's gonna be also that food itself. You're cooking in the pot at the time should still be.
It depends if it's a ben yoma or not. Right? But let's say it's not a ben yoma. You cooked your pasta tonight, and then you found out that Friday afternoon before Shabbos, somebody cooked some treif in there. Right? So it's not a ben yoma, so your food's gonna be okay.
The same thing as chatichna.
Now, is your food the food that you cooked is for sure okay? Did you kasher the pot now? So the reason why in the normal case it's not going to kasher the pot because you didn't. No, it would get hot. You didn't get the water all the way to unless you float the water over the top of the pot.
That's how my mother.
You didn't kasher. You didn't. Yeah.
It's extensive the entire pot, even if the tray only touched the bottom of the pot.
Yeah, we assume it goes through the pot.
That's kind of.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, partially chana, but yeah. Right. So it goes through the whole pot. So you have to kasher up the whole pot. But let's say in theory you did that. So then l'chara your food it's kashered,
The day of
right? Yeah. Okay. Let's just do the para'ela. Should we do it?
You can get here. That's what you
No, we're doing Rabbi Kiva Eger.
Oh.
That's not doing Rabbi Kiva Eger. No, he bring. Okay, skip the first parentheses and go to the next, the second line. I mean, by me, it's a better hate the second line up. But with Siman Tzadi Hey Sif Daled, just because it's an important concept to know. But with Siman Tzadi Hey Sif Daled Kosav Ataz the Mikan Muchach the Efer Einen Nos and Tal Fagam, which is a major thing because our ashes good taste. Our ashes something that tastes good. From this Ramah, it's mashma that it tastes good. He's worried about Basar Bechalav and ashes. Right?
My brother likes them.
Your brother likes ashes?
Yeah, it's actually.
I don't know if you should be mafas in that. I happen to like burnt food myself, but I don't know about ashes. So then you have a thing. Should buy? Does he eat? What does he eat by the sugas of seconds?
Yeah, he puts an extra on there.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Here, extra helping. Anyways, but from here isn't mashma that afer is nice and tam the shvach. Right, the Mekan Mochel, the Efer, Einen Nos Tal Fagam. Again, we had said that you have to know when a mixture is nice and Tal Fagam. If a mixture is nice and Tal Fagam, then you have reason to be matter the mixture. Right? I told you that psak that I once heard from a Rav in Lakewood, I don't remember who. He had said that somebody mixes a coffee with a spoon that was just used for chicken. Right, we said it?
Oh, seriously.
So then he said, we said in camp, he said that it's not a problem because since Starbucks doesn't have chicken flavored coffee, so must be the reason why they don't have it is because it's nice and time to forget. Meaning chicken with coffee doesn't mix. It's bad tasting. Otherwise, there would be such a thing as chicken flavored coffee. So when I first heard it, I was a little masub. And then you think about it, maybe Taka. No,
Where's it? If it's not what does that do? It makes it not.
it's nice and time for no, it's balea, but it's
No, they
nice
have
and time. It's not improving your food, man.
Really?
It's no different than using a pot after 24 hours.
I mean, they have coffee spice food.
Coffee
Spice ones.
and made out of chicken.
They do the other way. They do it the other way. They
Coffee
take
on
coffee
chicken.
and on chicken.
Oh, you're saying you take coffee and put on. I hear. I have to
Makes
ask my brother
Yeah.
Pettis and see what he's the bucky on that. Maybe Taka. You're saying they put coffee onto chicken, so maybe.
Trader Joe sells I think. Coffee rub.
Also, we
Maybe.
assume there'd be mechadish every single good flavored thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I wasn't sure.
So
That's
from
what I
now
wasn't sure.
on,
Nobody's ever made mechadish any good food.
No, you're right.
They-
Things,
they-
taste,
they-
palates can change, right?
For right now.
I'm saying you give an old, or my guy, me, I'm somewhere in the middle. But you poppers, what are you guys crazy? Burn your mouth off with chicken. I'm saying it doesn't. Like today's daughter, they love it. Previous daughters like, Pop, are you crazy? Right. So things could change 100%. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure about this plug, and I heard this b'shem somebody. Heard this b'shem somebody. So
Isn't
I
the
can't,
Isser, isn't the Isser of Basar Bechalav just the Isser of Bishul?
it's an isser of yeah. So what are you saying?
Saying so, regardless of its tam, why isn't there an Isser?
No, you didn't. You weren't mavashal. It's the guy was. I think it's somewhere where a guy was mavashal. The shaila is you're not. It's also about even if a guy does it.
Right. So the whole entire shiloh over here is only an Isser. No.
Right. So, but there's no isser enough. It's nice and talafagam. It doesn't taste good.
I understand, but you have your chicken spoon and you're putting it in. And you're not.
Are you talking about the coffee shaila?
Yeah, there's Bishul taking
coffee.
place.
There is a bishul. We're talking about a b'diavad situation. You already put the spoon in there.
Wilchachil, it's usher even if it's what's it
Well,
called?
you-
Tastes bad.
I mean, if you know, yeah, lechatchila, you're right. Now that's what you're saying. You can't cook a lechatchila.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, I would say you can't go. I don't think you can go take a chicken.
Midarice, it's usher even if it tastes terrible. Because it's bishul.
Is it a midarais? Is it a darais?
No, I can't. Who's Darius also? You won't be what
And you were just saying it's not hana. Like, what's the start that it's mutter because it tastes bad? He's asking.
Yeah, we're talking about an hana case. Yeah. And okay, so that's a good point.
But so achila, it's mutter because it tastes bad.
Achila would be mutter, yes.
So achila, it's only usher.
No, it's
eating
mutter
it.
b'diavad
So why? If it's usher to eat
because the
milk and
mixture
meat-
is nice and tan lefagam.
So if it's usher to eat milk and meat that was cooked together.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. If
cares
you
if it's
take
bad?
something, can you cook? Is it if it's not asim in Torah to cook basar b'chalav that's nice and tan lefagam? So then l'chayr, if it's not asim in Torah, so then it should be
Oh,
mutter to
okay,
do it.
fine. So he's just so it's mutter midaraisa to cook bad tasting milk with chicken.
I'm not. I'm gonna.
No, not
I don't
chicken.
know.
Meat.
Steak.
But whatever it is, meaning. So
It
it's
would
the
be
where.
mutter mid. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have to look. I don't. I'm not sure if it's. It would be
Spoiled milk.
Oh, is it,
right. Spoiled milk. Would spoiled milk?
Oh, is it even really like a cow? Like that's.
Well, if it's not
So,
royal
I'm
achilles I
saying-
would think that it's not.
I'm saying
It's not
spoiled
considered
milk.
food.
So
Yeah, I'm saying
Right.
spoiled
I hear.
milk.
No, but I'm saying let's say something that's not. No, let's talk. Let's say something that's nice and talent for gam. Right? So not something that's vade nice and talent for gam. Right? I don't know. Is milk in a cholent nice and talent for gam?
No,
I never.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Here, creamy cholent. Okay, so I don't know. Some
Every Thursday night.
I hear chocolate syrup, milk and chocolate syrup in a cholent.
Yeah.
Okay, so now would it be mutter to be mavashal? A guy wants cholent with milk.
Why
Is
is
that
it
also
on it?
midaraisa to do? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm confused. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Anyways, but the point is that he's saying Mikan mochach the efer einin asan al v'gam. Dim lekem lama oisel levasha b'gedera shoyse by mayim lechavi b'sarosh. See, here is mashma that it's mutter, right? Lama oiser levasha b'gedera shoyse by mayim lechavi. Why would it be usher to use the pot? Again, the Ramah is talking about a case that there's nothing in the pot. They use the pot to heat up the ashes, and now you want to use the pot. And the Ramah is saying that you shouldn't do that, right? So he's saying that the ashes are, if the ashes are nice and talent for gam, so then why should it be also to be mavashal? So from here it's mashma. You say nice and talent for gam over ein sham iser basa b'cholav. So I hear it's mashma that there's no iser, so therefore you could cook. Nachi, I think that's what it's mashma. I don't know if that's. I don't know. The yesh. When we're going litchos, the nazal gam al kaparam lechatchila aser. There you go. Right. Nazal gam. It's still lechatchila aser to cook in there, even though it's not gam. But he's saying that as a doichik. So I don't remember how we come out. I don't know how we come out lemais. I don't remember. I don't know. I have to check my notes if my notes even have it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so very good. I knew I forgot something. What you guys tying it today? You said with the Suda, with the Gilliam Masha. Look, it's a Gilliam Masha. I don't have it highlighted, so
Also.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So that he's backs himself up right here. You see the Gilliam Masha? Yeshayim Sivva Bago.
Yeah.
Again, just as a reminder, the Masha is not
Siman.
the Marsha, it is Reb Shlomo Eiger, right? Yeshayim the also lachtas eish lidei bishul baz v'chol ayin shach sivka and yud ches. The filu shar davar also levashel. The yishraya l'chayra mikan the basa v'chol shekvar nisbashel yachad basa v'chol that was already cooked together. Also levashel shenis. I think maybe you guys were saying the opposite.
Right, meaning.
Because you were going with the other shita.
Right. Meaning Vice Dice is talking about where it was just milk in it.
Right, Vayim Reish or Sifal. Right.
It's just
Right.
the Cadillac.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's too much of a Cadillac, that one. It's a stretch limo because you gotta have to look in the back for the other refudges.
Yeah, it gets all Simon again. That is
Yeah,
fine.
they redo it. I don't know. Yeah.
Pain in the neck.
Well, because that's a legitimate cheating safer. So that's
What's my sister?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's Mavor.
um
It's very clear. You just. Hard to just have to not raise it.
Yeah.
You see this one? That was
So where am I gonna put
okay, let's do Rebbe Kiva Eiger. Okay, whatever. Just that one line, Gilman show. You're looking at a different Shulchan Aruch. Okay, look at Rebbe Kiva Eiger. Yeshayim the also lachtas eish. She sees a lot of Rebbe Kiva Eiger here. And we're gonna do the part that's most negated. Yeshayim the also lachtas eish. Again, he's going on the first case of the Ramah. The Ramah says that you should not mix the fire, or in our days would be to raise the temperature, raise the flame under a guy's pot, because we're afraid that the guy's pot has both basar b'cholav, basar and cholav mixed in there, and then you're going to be mavashal basar and cholav. Yeah.
Is it already mavashal, or isn't it's already mavashal and you're just making it, let's say, higher flame? Just to
Well, that
keep
you
it
can
warmer?
again, you get into the whole yesh bishul acha bishul ein bishul acha bishul, that whole sugya. But
Why
What's
is
that-
why-
that bishul,
why not?
first place?
Well, that's
because he's just raising the flame. It's just keeping it like making it a little bit hotter. It's
okay.
not-
So he's
it's the
so,
same
right. So I'm
action.
saying it is raising the flame. L'chora, the case here is that we're right now it's not cooking, and that's why you have to mix the coals. Back then, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how today it would manifest. So maybe it's on a low flame,
It's super
and
slow.
it's not really. And then you raise the flame to cook it, right?
Right.
Maybe that would be.
He said that before he probably cooked something else previously. When you see right now, he's cooking Basar Olive.
Right.
Me right.
Right. Right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Sorry,
No,
Sorry.
we're afraid that there's basar. There was basar and challah put into this pot
Well, why not is? I mean, there is Basar Olive.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. So let's see Rabbi Akiva Eiger, yeah. Yeshua also lot to says koshali. Hey no, mechaven levashel. What's your kavanah? When you're mixing the fire, okay, this has nothing to do with basar v'cholov, by the way. This Rabbi Akiva Eiger, right? I mean, it has to do with it, but that's right. Meaning, when you're going to mix the flame under this pot, what are you doing? You're mixing fire, right? Koshali. Ha'ena mechaven levashel. Rach lachtos be'esh. You're just mixing fire. You're not cooking. Upsik reisha loy havi. Right? And it's not a now. So you say, well, it's a psik reisha. Meaning, what Rabbi Akiva Eiger is saying, it's a davar she'ena mischaven. Right? You're mixing a fire, and it's going to possibly cook basar b'cholov in the pot, but that wasn't your intention. Your intention was just the guy asked you to do me a favor, do me a favor and go and make my fire higher. That's what you're planning to do. You have nothing to do with what's in the pot. So, but the problem is it's a psigresha because it's an automatic. If there's a pot on the fire that potentially has basar b'cholov in there, so then you are automatically going to be cooking. So we know that a psigresha
Secretion
it's davar she'ena mischaven, so it's a psik reishus, and it's awesome.
What is that you're doing here? You're mixing around the fire. Like how? It's like
mixing the coals to make it
You're mixing the coals.
oh, mixing the
The
coals.
guy is sitting there, and he's sitting in his chair, and he sees you walking near his fire, and he asks you to mix the fire.
Okay,
So the Rama is saying, don't do it, right? Psik reisha loy havi, the shema loy bishul loy the chamba kedera basar v'gam cholav. He's saying you can't call that a psik reisha because how do you know that there's basar v'cholav in there? You don't know that, right?
You should ask him before you mix it.
We don't. He hasn't known their mothers, anyways. We won't go down that
Well,
road.
he might say, yeah.
Okay, but he's saying it's not a psik reisha because
Also,
you don't know.
You must see the tumor. You ask him, oh, you're cooking.
Okay, without the eights. Bottom line is he's not here now, or he's deaf, or whatever. And he doesn't know he's mute.
Well,
He's
that-
deaf mute. He died. Whatever the case is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The tzorach loymar. The dafka besofik de la haba. This is the main thing of this Rabbi Akiva Eiger. To say at least you sound educated if you know. Oh yeah, Rabbi Akiva Eiger was b'cholav about psik reisha, right? Tzorach loymar the dafka besofik de la haba. There's only a suffix of what's going to be. Shema lo yehe. Nasa kain b'maisa shaloi. Like you don't know if what's going to happen, right? You don't know the outcome. Kamoi goyer kisif asasel, like dragging a chair or a bench, right? That's the classic case. Tavi suffix shema b'grei raselo yasaguma, right? If you don't know when you're dragging the bench and you're making the hole in the ground. So if you Vada are going to make the hole in the ground, so then that's a psik reisha, that's a davar she'ena mischaven with a psik reisha because it's an automatic, so it's also. But if you don't know, then it's a suffix psik reisha, right? Or not a psik reisha, right? Aval besofik the ovar. This is what we call a psik reisha, the sha'ovar, right? Kimoi hacha, meaning. The im yesh bekedera belua basar v'chalav bechito zeh bevada yisbashal, meaning if there was basar v'chalav in the pot, then it's a psik reisha that you're cooking, right? Elot asafik shema ein by blias basar v'chalav zeh mikri psik reisha. Then that's called a psik reisha, yeah. Meaning, what he's saying is that all psik reishas are when I do this, will this happen? Right? Not if I do this, meaning not if did something take place before, in which case, if it taka took place before, then what I'm doing now is going to be a psik reisha, right? So meaning it's a psik reisha only based on what happened before. So now you have a machloikis. That, I mean, that's what Rabbi Akiva Eiger is saying here. Do you say that that's a psik reisha? Do you say that that's a psik reisha if we're trying to figure out what happened in the past?
Nenach Nami, that can be the reason why it's mutter.
Well, if you hold it, that's not it's a davar she'eino mischaben, and then that's not then what do you mean? What are you saying?
Meaning the Rambam is saying these are all chumras. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is saying, oh, why isn't it mutter? I'm saying, okay, maybe that's the reason why it's only a chumrah. But maybe from the Lashon of Yesh, I'm the Aser that Rabbi was like there has to be.
Maybe. I hear. You want to?
Well, that's be a reason to be machmer, no?
So what do you know there's reason? You can bring a rye that something's Aser from something that we say is bats and mutter.
Yeah, okay, but no, Rabbi Akiva Eiger here is answering why it should be also in the first place. He's trying to justify the Ramah's chumrah in the first place.
Right. But that could be the
You're saying the kasha is why he's that's what you want to say?
Why
Rabbi
is
Akiva Eiger's kasha?
to find a reason to make it Aser if the Ramah holds
because-
it's mutter?
You mean because you're saying that's what I was saying with the lashon of yesham and da'asa? Yeah, I think that's yeah. In a chanami, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to justify the chumrah. Again, let's just understand what Rabbi Akiva Eiger is saying. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is bothered by that it's a suffix of a psik reisha, or maybe not even a psik reisha, right? So he's answering, we only say that a psik reisha is not a problem meaning if it's something that will it take place or will it not take place, and you know Vada it's going to take place, and it's psik reisha. But if it's from in the past, then that's for sure. That's going to be for sure a problem because it's not. It's just a matter of what happened in the past. Was there basar b'chalav in this spot? Not if the chair is going to make a hole in the ground. It's if I don't know what would be a case, a parallel case with the chair. Is there a parallel case?
Of the future configuration?
Past. I don't know.
Sure.
Was the chair already dragged?
Is it heavy? Is it someone like sitting on it?
No.
I don't know. Okay, whatever. I don't know what other cases would be. Okay, let's just do one or two more lines. But oh, it's late already. Okay, I gotta stop. Yesh lion, huh?
Fly.
If he's gonna bring the tie, he's gonna bring it. Yeah, he's gonna bring it now. Let's just go a little bit. Yesh lion, the tie of machloikis or aruch ubali toisvis b'Shabbos. Right, it's calling the machloikis, the aruch and the bali toisvis. Tira maskul to ka'abed ara de chavri ayin sham. The das aruch the davar sheina mischavim b'psik reisha. That's something that's not mischavim b'psik reisha. Heicha sheina nene, where you did not benefit from it. Mutar afilu midurabanan. That's right. That is the Shitas Ha'aruch, which you rely on real Shas Atchak, right? That if you're not being nene from the Psik Reisha,
That's low nichalai.
what?
He's touching low nichalai.
Yeah. Let's basically. Meaning you want to. It's the classic. Open the refrigerator and the light's gonna go on. You could care less, so you keep your eyes closed, right? This right? But meaning so the Aruch holds that it would be okay. Right? Afilu Rabbanon, or Mashmasham, Afilu Bashari Surim.
Yeah.
Afilu Bashari Surim, Cain. The maybe right, Mahidima, the Mazalfin Yayin, Shushari Surim, right? Sprinkling the wine, and then the wine, you're going to smell the wine, etc. Ayin Shamim, Cain, Hachamutter, the Ha'enoi, Mechavin Lavashal, Belua, Shaloi Vikachavim. Vafta Havi Psik Reisha, Mikom Mokoim, Haloi Nena. You're not be. What Hano are you getting? Right? So according to the Aruch, it would be okay. What hana are you getting because you mixed the fire and having to do with the pot? Ulam ladas taisis shom the asim the rabbanon ubishar surim nira the tayu, meaning by other isurim that seems to be correct. The asa divrei Torah ayin b'divrei b'yuma or yoima im kain hacha asa v'ayin b'arash perigda. Okay, fine. Okay, and then he goes with the taz with the whole thing. Okay, we don't have to do. Point is that this the main thing to come out here is the psik ratio, the sha'ovar. Rabbi Akiva Eiger is saying we gotta be is different than the psik ratio in the asid. Yeah, okay, we'll stop over there, and we'll see what the schedule will be for next week if we jump to Peches or Tzadi Beis or whatever. Or Tzadi Aleph. Okay, good to
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Wait.